Okay, let's check the answer together. The answer is 3. Why is it so? When you look at this first line, f becomes mean function. And after the second line, the f indicates max function. Okay, so here, f becomes max. However, here, after this line, g becomes the mean function and h becomes the max function. However, here, g, which is mean function, goes into max. Therefore, after this line, this max function functions as mean function. So when we print out f, g, h, mean, and max, then it will be like f is max function, g is mean function, h, max, mean, max, mean. Okay, so because h is mean max function between 1 and 5, 5 will be selected. And g, which is mean, will filter out 5. Therefore, 3 will remain. And because f is max between 2 and 3, 3 goes out. And because max here is not max, however, it is mean function. Therefore, between 3 and 4, 3 becomes the output. And another thing you need to be careful about this problem or question is when you run this once again, then the result changes. Why is it so? Here, mean was originally mean, and max was originally max function. However, when we run this again, this max function is not max any longer. However, it is mean function. Therefore, it is not the same as before. And when you want to get 3 once again, here you need to click runtime and restart session. Then all the variables stored will be deleted and initiated again. All right, so that's why when you run this again, 1 comes out. And I'd like to talk about strings a little more. More specifically, I would like to talk about string formatting. String formatting becomes very important when you actually implement something or debugging your programs. And there are many ways to format your strings. You might have learned about this when you're learning C++ or C or Java. Let's say the temperature is 202 and the measure is Fahrenheit. And what you can do is water boils. What we did last time was concatenating these two strings using this plus sign, right? And we converted this number into string like this. However, this is somewhat cumbersome. We don't like this, right? So rather than doing this, we can format strings more efficiently like this. Water boils at %D, degrees, %S, and here you use % here, and temp and measure like this. And what it will print out is water boils at 202 degrees Fahrenheit. So % string means string will come here. And this string is measure. And %D means integer will come here. And the integer is indicated by these % parentheses. All right. And another way of formatting this is using these symbols, right? And you can use dot format like this, and you pass the specific strings or numbers like this. It prints out basically the same thing. Or you can format your string using this F symbol. So they basically do the same thing. So there are three ways of formatting your strings. So when you're combining numbers, strings together, you don't have to use concatenation any longer, but you can use this string formatting method. This one is called percent formatting. And this way of string formatting is called just naive string formatting. And this way of formatting string is called F string formatting. These three methods are all okay. You can choose any of them. It doesn't really matter. So some people prefer F string, whereas some other people prefer string formatting. So you can choose any of these. And if you want to print out some like floating points, you can use %F like this. You can pass like this. All right. So %D for integers, %S for strings, and %F for floating numbers. And there are many other things you can do for string formatting. Let's say anyway, that was a good question. For percent formatting, you can use something like this. This one doesn't look different. So what you can do is basically left align or right align some text. But this one doesn't look straightforward. I'll give you some examples of floating numbers. So this is approximation of I. You can just print %F and %number like this, or you can use this parenthesis like this, format number. So these are three ways of representing the same numbers like this. However, they show different number of numbers. And you can control how many numbers you want to show after this dot. That is by indicating numbers like this. And now this indicates that show only 3 numbers after this dot. All right. And you can do the same thing here. So they will show 3 numbers after that. All right. So you can format numbers in this way. And I'll leave the link of some other formatting methods, and you can have a look at those reference. All right. Any questions up to this point? Okay, let's move on. And from now on, I'm going to talk about lists. Python provides some default data structures. In case of other languages like C++ or Java, you need to implement some data structures, basic data structures by yourself, or you need to import some libraries. However, in Python, you can define lists without importing any other modules or libraries. You can just use lists. And lists stores a sequence of items. So defining a list is very easy. You just use bracket like this, and you just indicate what items are in this list, okay? Then you can define list like this, and let's print out the type of this list. It is called class list, right? And when you want to access some items inside this list, you do some indexing. I'll show you what indexing is. It is very simple. This item is the 0th item. So when you count some items inside a list, you start from 0 rather than 1. And this item is 0th item, 1st item, and it becomes 2nd item. So when you print out the 0th item, you use another bracket like this, and it will return the very first item. And you can access to the first item like this. And when you try to access index longer than the length of the list, it will say it is an index error. List index out of range. So you need to be careful about indexing. Okay. And another cool thing about Python list is you can access these items from the back. And if you want to do that, you use minus index. So let's say we have some other numbers like this. And -1 indicates the last item. And -2 means the second last item. All right. So rather than using some random indices, you can use these minus indices to access the items inside a list from the back. All right. And also, there is a default function or method provided by Python, which tells you the length of this list. So it says the length of this list is 6 because we have 6 items. Okay. And if you want to change the items inside this list, you indicate the index or the position you want to change the item like this. And the third item will be changed to bar. All right. And if you want to add some other numbers or something else to the end of this list, you can call this append method or function. Then something will be added at at the end of this list, okay? And another cool feature about Python is you can mix data types like this. You can put string and numbers together inside a list, which are not permitted in other languages. So here, the takeaway is you can access items from the back using minus indices, and you can change or alter the item inside a list using this index and assign operation. And you can also append new items. And there are also other ways you can modify the list. You can use pop function. After you call pop, the list will change by eliminating the last item. So here, this pop operation eliminates the last item. And another thing you can do with this pop option is by passing the index of the item you want to remove. So here, 2 is removed, all right? Okay, so this was list. And you can make list with this list name. And in Python, if you want to create some numbers, you can call another function range. It will create numbers from 0 to 9. It will print out, let's print out what's inside this nums. So it's from 0 to 9, it creates 10 numbers. And because we count items from 0 rather than 1, it creates numbers from 0 to 9, okay? And sometimes you might want to access to multiple items rather than just one item. In those cases, what you can do is by indicating multiple indices like this. So this number will return 2, 3, 4. So this is the starting index, the second index, and it does not contain the fifth index. However, it counts 2, 3, 4, all right? And another thing you can do is just not indicating the last index. Then what it does is printing out from second index to the last, all right? And another thing you can do is 5, 2, minus 2. So you can mix positive and negative indices like this, all right? And when you access to multiple index items inside a list, you can alter multiple items at once, like this. So items at second index and the third index is now 8 and 9 by using this expression. All right. So this was lists. And I would like to give you one exercise question. Can you guys guess the results of executing this code block? Think of